you obviously latched onto the Bills. They become a part of your heart, your following. You then went to travel to the US to many games. What's that experience like for a long distance fan, a UK fan, making those journeys? And how did it kind of impact your life, really?
Yeah, well, okay. So the first time I went to an NFL game in US was we traveled in 1997. It's my 18th birthday present. So great. We traveled out to Canada and to Toronto, cheaper to fly there, and then we drove down to Buffalo, across the Niagara Falls, and drove into Buffalo. And we got there, and I mean, it's like a world you don't expect for British fans, particularly British fans in the 90s. We remember like really moody scenes, around football at that time. I remember when I was at university, I went to a Blackpool game as a Preston North End fan, and we got legged. We got run down by a bunch of fans, and so I kind of had expectations that there'd be this kind of slightly acrimonious, slightly aggressive atmosphere at an NFL game. But the first thing you have to know is that that doesn't happen. I mean, and particularly in Buffalo, we will tailgate and welcome opposing fans into our tailgate all the time. Of course, there's a bit of banter. There's a bit of taking the piss out of one another. There's a bit of ribbing or whatever, but in general, you welcome them in and you talk to them. And I think that was the one thing that struck me first. The second was just the scale of it, because at home, people dribble in from the pubs around places and whatever, but with an NFL game, particularly in Buffalo, people show up. I mean, I get up at 4 a.m. and arrive at the stadium at 6:30 in the morning, 7 in the morning for a 1 o'clock game. So there were just thousands and thousands and thousands of people, all in Bills gear, all in football gear, from early in the morning, and so it's almost indescribable. And then, I mean, we always joke that you love the smell of tailgate in the morning. It's that funny smell of kerosene and people pouring petrol to start their barbecues and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was a great experience. I always felt when I came out that first time, we didn't really know what to do. We had a rental car, pull up in a rental car with a bag of crisps and call that tailgating. It felt like a bit of a plum, to be honest with you. Me, my dad and my brother, or it was me and my best mate who now lives in New York, we'd fly over and we'd pitch up in a rental car and we'd do our best to like fit in. But I always had this feeling like, man, wouldn't it be great not to have to be in a hotel, not, to be able to rock up with a whole trailer load of stuff and unpack it. And you saw people with golf greens and flags and tents and their barbecues and all this. Like, where do they get this stuff from? Of course, they were bringing it from home in their pickup truck. And there was a moment where I said, well, this is what I need in my life. I need to load up my pickup truck with a whole bunch of camping stuff and sit out there for 7 hours before a game. And so that's what I do now.